Welcome back to the He's Wrong, She's Right podcast. I'm Andrew. This is Nona. Long time no see, friends and family here on YouTube. Damn it. I really should have tested this out better. So we're in a new studio. New
everything.
New set, new studio. Same equipment.
New house.
Yeah, new house.
We moved.
New city.
That's why we disappeared for a whole month.
Same state.
What did you guys do without us? That's the real question. Did you guys use your tears for lube?
Of course.
Of course.
So, Nona.
Yes, Andrew.
Like you said, we haven't been keeping up with anything.
We have been so focused on moving. We have no idea what's going in the current events of the world. We have absolutely no idea.
I kind of do.
Vaguely.
I've been paying attention. I know some things and some stuff.
You know some things and some stuff and some people.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, obviously, I have been more focused on the move than you have, apparently.
Well, I've also had to work on client project and stuff because there was that deadline. I wanted to actually pull up YouTube real quick and make sure we are streaming.
Oh, joy.
Just to be sure. It says we are. All right, yeah, we're live. I'm even looking at my phone, so it's not that far behind.
Okay.
Cool. Well, so after I told you yesterday that Mike, it looked like everything was later on this week.
Okay.
It did happen yesterday at 2 p.m. One of the hearings. Specifically, what?
That's so confusing.
There was a lot of confusion because...
Did he even show up? Did he even know that it got...
It was in person. It was in person.
Okay.
Kay was waiting to read and tell me the information from it. Need to change what? Need to change what?
I don't know.
Sorry guys, if there's an issue, we're
video resolution.
Too bad. Can't change it.
Okay.
Literally can't.
Anyways. Get back to your story.
I was still, yep. So there was some confusion even in that hearing from early March. Is that when it was? These last 2 months have gone by really, really fast.
So the one yesterday was regarding the protective order, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought I remembered.
Yeah. So, but I thought they were trying to make it so that everything else went through first, but the actual criminal trial isn't, or hearing or whatever you want to call it, next step in that process isn't until the 22nd of this month. So 16 days away. Is that 2 weeks from Friday?
Sure.
Just say Tuesday or Wednesday?
Sure. I
2 weeks
don't
from
know.
Thursday.
It's the beginning of May.
2 weeks from Thursday is May 22nd. And if you guys are listening, you can only be watching or listening on YouTube. Drop a comment so we know you're in here. I have the live chat pulled up, and we have a much bigger screen in here now. The TV that I bought with the intention of using it for the podcast, I finally got it back from the daughter, so I'm using it for the podcast. And it's like 46 or 48, I don't know. And it's 4K, so it's bigger, better resolution than that 32-inch 2K monitor, that 1440p monitor.
Blah,
so
blah, 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 blah,
we can
blah,
actually
blah,
see
blah.
things. We can see ourselves. We can read. I'm not squinting. I do have my contacts in though. But so anyways, Nona. So that all transpired. Kay is trying to get us some updated information on that. So it might be like a roundup episode that we'll do next week to bring people back up to speed.
Okay.
Because people, just like the Sean Ryan thing. Okay. If you guys haven't seen our short about Sean Ryan's arrest from 2012.
Okay.
People are coming and commenting on our video. He's talked about this. Why are you bashing him? We posted our video before Sean did, guys. That short went up before Sean acknowledged it and talked about it on his podcast. It's not us reacting to him. He reacted to us to get out in front of it. We do have people looking into it because there's a discrepancy.
What's the discrepancy, Andrew?
The date that I originally saw and looked up is not the date that Sean talked about.
Okay.
And upon further investigation,
You said there was something regarding like names.
Those are two different incidences.
Okay.
Instances? Yeah. Those are two different
But you
crimes.
said that he spelled his name differently also.
Yeah. And well, everyone knows that he doesn't use his last name as like part of his stage name. Ryan is his middle name.
Yeah.
So he altered the spelling of his first name and he's using his middle name as his stage last name.
Okay.
So it's, what do they say for like going undercover? The best disguise is like the one that you don't have to lie about.
Okay. Sure.
So by changing the spelling of his name, he doesn't change how it sounds. His parents probably screamed, just like everybody else's parents have ever screamed at them when they did something wrong. Nona Levitt, Andrew Timothy, right?
Stop telling people
So
my name.
You use it as on stuff, but yeah. So the fact that he did that, it just makes it easy for him because it throws off search. But now there's enough context out there. Like if people type in Sean Ryan and they misspell it or they spell it one of the other ways, Google or whatever AI is going to know, oh, probably talking about the podcaster, probably should bring back information about that.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as like internet privacy, it doesn't help at all,
Okay.
but it does obfuscate some things. Which, by the way, did I tell you the story about where the hell did I go? This is going off on a tangent, guys, but this is really funny. Okay.
Did you take your Adderall today?
No.
Of course you didn't.
Where the hell did I go? I went somewhere. Oh, it's Chick-fil-A. The Monkey Junction Chick-fil-A, right? I'm in the drive-thru and the girl, standing outside taking my order, asks me how to spell Andrew because there's two ways.
Cute. How else do you spell Andrew?
And I spelled it out to her, and as I spelled it out, I'm like, what of these letters can I change? Like I almost did that thing where you how to spell a word and the way that you're spelling it is correct, but when you look at it, you're like, that's not
right.
There's
You're
no way
second
that's
guessing
right.
your reality.
Yeah. So I'm spelling it out. And I'm like,
yeah. So I want to know, how else would you spell Andrew?
Yeah. I mean, my brother has a unique spelling of Aaron, so I guess
Okay.
maybe somebody out there has some weird way, but like, I've never seen one.
No idea.
Maybe if you spell it out, Andrew, Andrew.
Are you a Dr. Seuss character now?
It sounds like you live in Australia.
Oh no, it sounds like you're Dr. Seuss character.
Andrew the kangaroo.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Andrew the roo.
Okay. Anyways. So you went on a Tangent Express.
Yeah.
You want to circle on back to what you were talking about?
So the people commenting on, it's really funny actually. So a lot of it obviously has to do with the recommendations that people are seeing because that's where the majority of that traffic is coming from. They're not searching for it. They're watching something else or it's being recommended on their feed or like next video to watch, whatever. And they're always our earliest videos from like the first ones that we did, which was I think a year ago yesterday. We started on a Sunday? No, because that was March. Never mind. So 2 months in. But the first Glover video that we recorded was on like the 5th or went up live on the 5th or something like that of last month. Okay. So people are going back and watching those shorts and those videos and arguing as if it's,
as if it's new information.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it could have been new information to them.
But they're all like, do your research. And I'm like, you watching one Valhalla video is not you doing your research.
The ones that I see that will pop up for whatever reason on my feed is, he's a family man. You should leave him alone so he can be a dad. Oh, you're talking about the push notifications? Yeah. I'll just get like these random ones and I just swipe them away. I'm like, just because he's a dad doesn't give him permission to do those things.
It's the he's a dad or he's a veteran.
Right. Because he's a dad, he shouldn't do those things. Is literally the argument.
He's done so much for our country. Leave him alone. Like,
how are these excuses in this world?
So I've started responding to them because these people are the same people that if Barack Obama had a speeding ticket in 1989,
Okay.
They would hold that. That's all they would talk about. If he was running for election, that's all they would talk about. How can I trust? Simply because he's on the other team, right?
Okay.
But because Glover is on our team,
Okay.
nothing Glover does is bad. Doesn't matter if he's beat his kids. It doesn't matter if he beat his wife or girlfriend or spouse or boyfriend or whatever, or himself. Which that would be like the logical next thing for Glover would be to beat himself and accuse himself. So there's
no comment.
There's even a Sean Ryan video comment from 42 minutes ago that's completely different from what everybody else has said.
Which is what?
It was a bar fight. He talks about on his show. It was dismissed because he went off to war. The other one was a traffic violation, a DUI.
Mm-hmm.
And his story is that he was starting with the CIA the next day. He was going to fight pirates, is what he told the officer.
Okay.
And so when he got to the field, the CIA field office or whatever the hell they call their FBI calls it field office, CIA probably calls it something else just because there can't be continuity in the government. They knew about it and they printed off copies of it and hung it on every door in the office. So it was all his mugshot. Yeah.
That's really cute.
Yeah. So, and people are so mad that we're looking into it. Why are you digging up the past? All we're doing is bringing forth information, guys. Like this isn't like a witch hunt. We're not saying he's a bad guy. It's just this stuff got buried and he happens to work or have worked in the CIA. It's crazy how shit like that happens to people that are in those positions, but it'll never happen to you and I. You'll never just get to continue just strolling into your job like nothing ever happened after a DUI or getting into a bar fight.
Right. If I were to do something bad, there would be serious repercussions in my life, and my life would essentially end as I know it.
It would extend into family court. It would extend.
Nobody would give me a free pass.
Yep.
Just because I'm a mom.
Yeah. But if you were a war hero, no. If you were the first Space Force Navy SEAL, then they would give you the pass. Actually, they wouldn't because you're a woman.
Exactly. So. Exactly.
They would be fighting over whether or not you had to do the male standard or not. So they updated this. There's a bunch of infighting. We can talk about this later if we want or whatever if we have time. But the Army specifically, but DOD in general across all the branches has been changing their PT tests over the last couple of years.
Okay.
And at one point they switched to, when I was in, there was a clear male and female standard, but they also didn't allow females in combat MOSs when I was in. So you couldn't be infantry if you were a woman. The closest you get to infantry would be like military police. And somebody's going to get mad about this.
You guys understand what he's talking about.
Somebody's going to get mad about this. The military police, when they're deployed, perform similar roles to the infantry. They do a lot of the same things. They go on patrols. They do a lot of that same stuff. The infantry guys don't want to hear that. But when they're back stateside, CONUS or wherever, they are traffic cops who do traffic cop things. But when they're deployed, they do infantry things. So they're like a barely better infantry, but women could always be in MP, but they couldn't be in the infantry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for the information.
So they tried to push it so there was one standard. Male and female all had to hit the same standard.
Okay.
Because in reality, say we're in a war zone right now, right? If I can drag you out, but you can't drag me out, how's that fair to me? Building collapses, I can drag your body out because I can meet the standard, but you can't.
Okay.
Because your standard was, or you can't meet my standard and drag me out because your standard was set lower in training.
Okay.
So they've come to terms now where there will be 3 standards.
Oh, joy. What is the third standard?
Combat MOS standards.
Okay.
So you have a generic female standard.
How did we even get on this topic?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, because I'm not a war hero?
Oh yeah. Because you're not the space.
Again, I cannot keep up with your brain.
You're not the Space Force's first Navy SEAL, female Navy SEAL. Which and actually that brings us right into another thing.
Oh gosh, what now?
A female lawyer,
okay,
attorney, whatever. Those aren't really interchangeable. I don't know if you know that or not. A female, one or the other, who had enlisted back during GWAT, but like dodged her training date, is now asking to join again and go into the SEAL program in the Navy. And the Navy's like, no, you're too old. Because she is. There is an upper age cutoff.
How old is she?
41, but she'll be 42 or whatever. I think that's what it was. When she completes her training, effectively making her useless to the Navy.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because you're not ever going to get like any more in your prime. You're just going to kind of maintain and decline over time.
Okay.
In a 20-year stint is not going to happen. So they're not getting their value out of their money. If they're going to train you, spend millions of dollars training you, they're not going to get that value back.
Okay.
So she's suing the Navy for discrimination.
Okay.
And she has been getting just dragged by everyone. Videos, posts all over social media, everything. Because she had the opportunity to do it. Maybe not go through SEAL training, but she had the opportunity to go in like 15 plus years ago.
Right.
But we were in conflict then. It wasn't convenient for her.
Okay.
Now it's convenient because she's tired of her job.
Okay. She's ready for her second career.
Yeah.
And she doesn't actually have a second wind.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And apparently there's some other nonsense going on there, but her videos that she made, it's like she like set up her camera, like her own phone. So it's like off to the side. So it's like she's talking to somebody, but she's really interviewing herself. It's funny.
Oh, wow.
It's really funny.
Joy.
She put in the effort for the production quality. But okay. Her reasoning for why they should give her a shot is because she's a good swimmer.
That's it?
Basically.
Like Olympic level good swimmer?
No,
or
she's scuba certified.
Okay.
And a good swimmer. And so that's why she's qualified. Even though she's literally not qualified by the standard of the definition of the standard.
Okay, whatever.
That's like saying I have a CDL, but because I have a driver's license, I'm qualified.
Good job.
But I don't have a CDL. But I'm qualified.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll have a full, like, comprehensive, we'll put it together. Because I'm sure.
You mean you?
No, for next week. Yeah.
I'll will put it together.
Yeah. Oh,
and I'll just smile and nod during it.
That was the complaint from the last video is she's not adding anything to the conversation.
You're right. She's not.
But listen, guys, have you ever watched or listened to any podcast or show of any kind? That happens all the time. The person that has the information talks. The one that doesn't or has the pieces to add interjects. And there's not always a back and forth. Sometimes it's a one-sided conversation. The other person's there to bring insight or ask questions from a point of view that is somebody who doesn't understand what's going on. That's why shows have guests on. The hosts don't understand or know, or they're not the expert or professional in that person's field, so they bring the guests on to talk about it. We just happen to be not having a guest in those episodes. I have all of the information. I've watched the hearings. I've read the notes. Kay has read and summarized the docket and provided me with the PDFs and information for it. So I have the information. There's no reason for you to waste your time because we're making a short little podcast video. We're not making a fucking documentary. We are documenting, but we're not making a documentary. Boom.
He's not worth my time, guys.
That line is hilarious. Not from you, but
It's true.
I know.
I literally have no desire to invest any time watching him in any regard. So the only time I will give two thoughts about him is during our podcast when you share the information.
So one of the commenters last month or whenever it was, super pissy.
Okay.
Like, couldn't comprehend the words that I was using. Okay. Said, how could you see what Glover was wearing in the hearing if you can't record the hearing? And I was like,
just because you're not allowed to record it doesn't mean that you can't watch it.
Yeah, I watch stuff on the TV all the time and I don't record the TV.
Gosh, Andrew, set up a live camera for people so they can watch you watch TV. Come on. Yeah. Could you imagine?
Somebody, if you guys demand it, I will set up a fucking tripod.
Hell no. I need to be able to walk around this house in my slob kebab outfits as I'm cleaning the house.
Oh, never mind. There's not a...
We are not setting up a camera in the living room. Hell fucking no.
There was if there was a beam, like an I-beam right there, like was in the across the living room, that one across the house in the other place. Mm-hmm. If there was one right there, you could just put one of the old security cameras right there. Just put the live feed up.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I would never step foot in the living room. The idea of people creepily watching on me.
And those have wide angle
as I am trying to be comfortable in my own home. Hell no.
That's okay.
It's so creepy.
People, the amount of people
I will never have a camera in the house.
The amount of people that put security cameras inside their homes, especially in places like their bedroom.
No.
Like, I've seen videos of people where something has happened outside and they will take the footage and show the progression of what they do. Like, I rolled out of bed and then I'm going down the hallway and then I'm going to my safe and opening.
All of that is so creepy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
you know that there's somebody sitting in India watching your entire life on live. Yeah. What are they doing? Probably going to start talking to you through your camera. I see.
No, it's in their best interest not to, because if you don't know, they can watch you forever.
So creepy.
That's the one.
I mean, I told you about the story of my friend and the things that they did when they forgot they had a puppy camera set up in their bedroom. Yep. All the naughty things caught on camera.
And you know somebody has a copy of that.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
So, you sure you really don't want a camera inside the house?
Hell fucking no. This is the only camera that we will ever have in the house, and it is shut down in between podcast episodes.
They have
completely dismembered.
You guys can't see it, but they actually even have a privacy cover that flips down. And the computer gets turned off.
Always make sure to do that on your laptops and computers as well.
Yeah.
Protect yourself at all times.
If anybody like me, that's why I buy Lenovo.
That way you can
some of the other
slide it across.
Some of the other brands,
I think HP does too.
But Lenovo's done it for as long as I bought Lenovo, which was going all the way back to college.
Okay.
There's a slider right here.
Mm-hmm.
So
keep yourself protected.
Yep. Keep yourself protected with insurance from NonaPhelps.com. Oh.
That was good. That was smooth.
Link in the description and everywhere else. Or you could just type it in because Nona, NONAPHELPS.com.
Yeah, and you already told everybody my middle name too. Jesus.
It's already all over the place. So, how you like the new set? By the way, guys, tell us.
Yeah, it's completely empty. You guys are...
Send us your wares. We have a lot of space in here to be able to set back farther. Mm-hmm. We can move the set further in.
Yep, we have a much larger setup now.
And this is a dedicated room for the podcast. It's not our office anymore.
No more shared living room situation, shared office situation.
Yep.
Yes.
So I don't have to tear it down and set it up. It's just going to sit here for the majority of the week and be used 3 hours a week, roughly.
Exactly. But I will say I am officially too old to move. My body is so physically exhausted from this move.
We hired movers.
Every joint, muscle, everything in my body aches.
By the way, shout out. Oh my God.
You're about to shout somebody out and you can't even remember their name. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm trying to think of the. So they only have like the Facebook. They might have a Google business listing as well, but oh my gosh, why can't I think of any of the names now?
Oh my God, Andrew!
It's terrible. I'll put a link. I'll put a link in the pinned comment for this.
For the movers?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you trying to shout out?
I wonder if Marcos texted me the name of it.
Okay.
Is there like guys that do side projects for one of our old neighbors?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he did. But the one guy, his name's May, and it's May's company, and then May works for Marcos. So
Okay.
that's, yeah. So we had 5 movers,
Mm-hmm.
26-foot U-Haul, the Suburban, and my, at the time, rental Sierra.
Mm-hmm.
And it took us all of that 26-foot U-Haul with not having any furniture other than beds and desks and tables.
Yeah, I sold off as much stuff as I possibly could. I sold off the couch. I sold off everything that I possibly could, knowing that I could just rebuy it here at the new house.
We have what? We have 5 desks.
Mm-hmm.
One's collapsible though.
Mm-hmm.
2 tables.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of chairs.
A lot of chairs.
A lot of chairs.
A lot of beds. 'Cause
5
there's
beds.
A lot of people.
5 beds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dressers, nightstands.
2 dressers, 4 nightstands,
Mm-hmm.
and then boxes and totes for days.
Yes,
that filled
for days
the
and
whole
days and days.
fucking 26-foot U-Haul.
Yeah.
So,
But I would say 98% unpacked and put away.
no.
Yes. The only remaining 2% of stuff is in the garage and needs to find their forever homes in the garage, like your tools and
The
things
office
like
is
that.
not put together yet. The game room's not put together yet.
The game room is like 90% together. All that's in there are literally all the games, the couch. All that you have to finish doing is setting up the TV. The TV is mounted on the wall, and you just have to finish setting it up.
Can't reach behind it to plug it in.
Right. So like there's nothing to
planning.
like do more other than setting things up. That's more of a maintenance thing, not an unpacking thing.
Same.
It's not the same though. I've done so much unpacking.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. So there is a difference between unpacking and putting away and then just simply turning it on, going through the setup stuff. That's I understand the icing on the cake, but it is the step after the unpacking.
Which do you think is worse, unpacking or packing?
I mean, they're both not fun for different reasons. I would say packing is more tedious because you have to be very careful about making sure the things that you're packing you do not need for the next X amount of days. And then you have to be very careful about things that you do pack that you need to know exactly where that you are. And it's just more tedious. Whereas the unpacking, it's time consuming, labor intensive, but as soon as you do it, you're accomplished and you're feeling like, okay, we're getting going. It's good. So I'd say packing is worse than unpacking.
Well,
What?
on a similar note, you should go. I didn't even think about this. I didn't even look until today when it had occurred to me that I didn't think that they had buried the line yet.
Okay. What?
They're going to have to disconnect our internet to bury it.
Okay.
They ran it through the drain.
I had
Under
the
the driveway.
internet come the day that we were moving in because we both obviously work from home. And so we needed to have internet ASAP. The appointment was set and scheduled for over a week. I finally get a phone call at like 5 p.m. Hey, do you still want me to come? I was like, as long as you get paid overtime, yes. I still want you to come. And he said, oh, yeah, that's no problem. I'm going to pay it either way. I just wanted to make sure you're not like in the middle of cooking dinner or something. I was like, no, internet is more important in this house than cooking dinner. We'll pick up food. It's fine.
Well, and
then it was a full install of 2 hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had to finish out the month for Coastal.
Right.
So that was pressing.
Right.
And then, yeah. So they're going to have to come disconnect it, which is going to be however fucking long.
Yeah, I don't know. At the last house, it was also a full install. And when they came back a week later to bury the lines, which it's been about a week, so I feel like any day now they're going to roll up. And they didn't give me a notification at the last house about when they were coming. They just came and buried it.
But the way that they did this, I'm hoping they're not going to leave it half-assed like they did.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they do, it's getting cut.
By the mowers.
Mower, weed eater, somebody edging. Eventually it's going to happen.
Okay. Which, speaking of, are you buying a mower or are you paying somebody to mow this giant yard? We're on like almost half an acre.
It's not really, I wouldn't like call it a giant yard. It's just, again, it's going to be a bunch of tedious stuff because you got stuff to go around and you can't just, even if you had a rider, you would still have to have either a push mower and or a weed eater. And if you have a push mower, you're still going to need a weed eater.
Right. It's a lot to buy. So that's the question. Yeah. What are you doing? Are you hiring somebody?
I was looking at prices.
Or are you buying it?
I looked at prices when I was at Lowe's getting more boxes or something. I don't remember what it was. And they're like, some of them are reasonable. Like if you still just get the gas power ones, those are reasonable. The electric ones, they're doing the printer thing.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm getting at here? They want you to adopt, just like how I have DeWalt Power Tools.
Okay.
They want you to adopt their ecosystem because nothing is compatible with anything else. If you buy Craftsman, you have to buy Craftsman batteries or Chinese knockoffs. If you buy EcoFlow, you have to buy EcoFlow batteries. So they get you with, oh, it's super expensive, but for this month, we're offering like 4 extra batteries and this. And it's like $700 for a 26-inch wide push mower. Yeah.
Okay.
So finding like a used mower would probably be okay. And I wonder if this is, if you guys are watching this, drop a comment and let us know. Because I did put live chat on there. Oh, and by the way,
what?
When I was setting this up,
yeah,
so YouTube says that to do fundraisers for nonprofits, you have to have 10,000 subscribers. But I guess that must only be for like pre-recorded videos or whatever. Because when I was setting up the live, it let me, I could have set this up to be a fundraiser for Veteran Wiki. But Veteran Wiki wasn't on their list yet, so I had to add it.
Gotcha.
So, but Veteran Wiki was in the pre-populated list to select from to have onboarded onto YouTube.
Nice.
So now other YouTubers, not just us, can run fundraisers for the nonprofit.
Very cool.
So we'll see how that goes.
We'll see.
I don't know because I haven't done it myself, but JT Music, when we did the thing for IC Kids, they did one on like one video. And John was even like, he was like, dude, I don't know. And at the time, I wasn't sure if he was just like, they weren't interested in that. They want that revenue and everything like that. Because I don't know if there's a split or if you can choose, I want 100% or whatever. I didn't get that far. So he seemed kind of like I don't know. I don't think it's going to do well. And then when some of the stuff that I've done in fundraising for nonprofits now since then, now I realize what he was saying is it looks big. You're like, oh, 5,000-10,000 subscribers. We're going to make so much money off this fundraiser. But like nobody donates. You could have millions and millions of views and almost nobody donates. And that's another thing. So people watching the stream right now could do what's called a super chat to us,
Okay.
give us money during the stream. But I don't know if there's like a different button. Like, I don't know if it's AdSense only or if it's AdSense plus viewer, like if there's going to be a different button. So we have a lot to figure out on that. But it'd be cool to start doing live streams.
Yeah. How
Something
often
not
are we
perfect.
doing this?
We had talked about doing it once a week. I think we should do once a week in the evening.
Evening? Why?
Because that's when
I'm cooking dinner in the evening.
Okay, I'll move everything in there and won't take that long. We could live stream you cooking.
Oh, okay. I can do that. As long as my back can be to the camera while I'm literally at the stove.
We have to come up with a name for your cooking show. This is actually that's another thing, guys, that I haven't talked about. Minis Forum finally got the mini PC or sent me a new one. So the last one held up for what? 5 months?
If that, I don't know. It
It was like
died.
September to February is when it first died.
Okay.
And I resurrected it until like March-ish.
Okay.
And
Something
then
like that. Yeah.
they just got it back to me a week and a half ago, or a new one a week and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
This one came with a different power supply.
Okay.
Or
So
AC
maybe
adapter.
that will be the magic
Yeah.
fix.
And if I remembered correctly, it was a higher wattage output than the other one.
Okay.
So I had a feeling that maybe it was underpowered and it fried something trying to,
Well, that's your area of expertise, so we will find out.
like Nona trying to suck a banana through a straw. It was trying to draw power like that. What? What?
Rude.
Burn out your cheeks. I'm just
Rude.
kidding. Dude, that's see, like we can read. I can read the bottom. I can see the bit rate. I can see how much time. I can see the processor usage, which is literally still only 2%. So hopefully,
It's
this
a magic fix.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Fingers crossed. It has a 3-year warranty, so if we have to keep doing this, we can keep playing that game with them.
Okay.
Anything else you want to talk about? What the show? We watched a couple shows since we've been like burned out and just relaxing for an hour in the evenings. We watched the whole of what was that one show? Or the season, White Lotus. We watched that since the last time we've been on here.
We started talking about White Lotus
Did
on
we?
one of the episodes. Yeah.
No.
We had a whole episode about what we were talking.
So all
or
the
what
things
we
that
were
we
watching.
all the things that we finished since then are probably White Lotus, Reacher.
Yeah. The episode.
Righteous Gemstones is still ongoing, right? Or did that end?
Yes, it's still ongoing. We recorded that episode when Righteous Gemstones was either just getting ready to start or that we had watched the very first episode with what's his face in it.
So Walton Goggins has been like all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, he's the new who did that a while back? And now that the one guy from Ted Lasso,
Yeah. What about him?
it's like these actors get these like
Second wins.
no, not second one. It's like this like burst of their like a ton of work in 1 year.
Okay.
Because I believe that they either finished and are getting ready to release the new Ted Lasso or they're filming it right now. One of the two.
Something.
And then he was in that show. It was more of like a cameo because he wasn't fully in it. He was in like what, 3 episodes?
Of what show?
Shrinking. So we watched Shrinking. That was pretty good.
Ted Lasso?
No, the guy, the soccer player from.
Oh, I was like, I thought you were talking about the oh my god, I'm blanking on his name. The Jason Sudeikis.
No,
That's who I thought you were talking about.
no.
Okay, yes. Now I know who you're talking about.
But so he's in that. Obviously, he's doing a lot of stuff on Apple, but he's doing that.
Mhm.
And then we saw he has that stand-up special now.
Mm-hmm. Which we had no idea that he was a comedian.
I've seen him in commercials recently. I don't remember what, but I know I've seen him in commercials.
Mhm.
So he's like, I didn't know who he was until Ted Lasso. Maybe he was already famous, but I don't know. Dude,
No, I had never heard of him before Ted Lasso.
so yeah, he does Ted Lasso, and now he's in a bunch of Apple Plus or whatever. Apple TV Plus, is that what it is?
Apple TV.
You sure it's not Plus?
No, I don't think there's a plus in it.
Comment if there's Plus.
I think
Let us
it's
know.
just Apple TV.
So he's been in a couple of those shows. And now the special, I bet we start seeing him in like movies by the end of this
We're
year.
watching 4 seasons right now on Netflix. Really, really good. If you're...
Is it though?
You said you liked it.
I do, but I think they're trying a new format. Because
Also,
it's kind of an anthology, but they're not staying purely. I mean, it is linear, but they're leaving so many cliffhangers
mhm,
and then just starting up the next season,
mhm.
acting like we were supposed to know what happened. Like the first season, the thing blows up, and you
Right.
don't know what happens at the vow renewal.
Well, you put 2 and 2 together when the opening of the next episode
But I
is
wanted-
a new lady.
I wanted to see the chaos. I wanted to see him be like, no.
Not say his vows.
The thing just blew up. So that's his perfect opportunity to be like, didn't
Never
wanna do
mind.
this.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
What a waste of time.
Or they might have been like, oh, it was a sign because he spent all the
Mhm.
time building it or whatever. And yeah, you said you didn't see the smoke, but I knew something was going to happen to that thing
Mhm.
like right away.
And then we're going to watch Friends and Family, I think is what it's called, or Friends and Neighbors, Friends and something on, it's a Apple show also.
There's no and in there. It's your friendly neighbor.
Oh, okay, whatever, with John Hamm. Whenever that finishes, that way you can download the entire season so we can watch it together because
Mhm.
I've heard it's really good. And if you've watched it, please let us know if you like it. We finished Shrinking. They're coming out with another season of that. I don't know when.
He's
What
busy
else?
too. What's his name? Indiana Jones and Star Wars guy and psychologist guy. What's his name?
Why am I blanking on his name too? Oh my gosh. It's Harrison Ford.
Yeah. He's busy because they just had that's what I just watched last night actually was Captain America Brave New World, which was like, I don't know, it wasn't that good.
Is that the one that you wanted to take the kids to a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
Oh.
But it was like, they didn't want to put him in a TV show again because that would have felt like they weren't giving him his value. Does that make sense?
Mm.
Anthony Mackie. But they needed
Who's
to,
Anthony Mackie?
the guy who's Captain America now. He was Falcon. You know who he is. You know who he is. Anyways, it felt
I don't
like
keep up with Marvel at all.
they just needed to like tell Harrison Ford's story
Okay.
to bring people up to date with like what was going on and why he became a Hulk.
Okay.
Do you remember the very first Incredible Hulk movie from our generation? I'm not talking about like Ang Lee, or was it Ang Lee that? I don't think Ang Lee is wrong.
The only one.
One from like 2007.
Yeah,
or
that's the only Hulk movie that I saw.
Okay. So do you remember in that movie, the guy that gets the Bruce Banner's blood dripped on his head and his head like starts?
No.
You don't remember that?
No.
The guy that helped him perfect the serum, like Mr. Green or Mr. Blue?
No, I do not remember any details from that movie.
Okay. Well, anyways, so Thaddeus Ross in that movie is played by a guy who's now dead. That's who Harrison Ford is playing, the general.
Okay.
So Harrison Ford has taken over that character, recast as that character, whatever. So at the end of that movie, that guy becomes, I can't remember the name of the character, but he becomes super smart, like can predict the future, everything like that. and Harrison Ford's character, Thaddeus Ross, has like some sort of disease and he's going to die. So Brain Guy in prison taking the fall for that movie. Like they made it seem like it was his fault.
Are you guys following
They
this
are, 'cause
nonsense?
They probably seen this. So he formulates these pills that give him gamma radiation, and he like ups the dose over time and it keeps him alive. Blah blah blah. So freaks out at the end of the movie. Becomes Red Hulk. Breaks a bunch of shit.
Harrison Ford turns into Red Hulk.
Yep.
Is he like old and saggy, or is he like big and buff?
The Hulk looks just like the normal one, just red.
Even
But with
though
Harrison
he's
Ford's
old.
face. Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Do you remember? Was Julie Louis-Dreyfus? Is that how you say her name?
Mm.
You remember that from the Captain America show when we watched it? Isn't she the one from Friends? Julie Louis-Dreyfus, or no, Seinfeld, right?
I didn't watch a Captain America show. What are you talking about?
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I didn't watch that. That must have been your other friend, not me.
No. So, anyways, they set up in there what's called like the Thunderbolts, which are like the anti-hero Avengers, basically.
Okay.
And she was going to be like leading it for like Thaddeus Ross. She was like recruiting people.
Okay.
And now that movie just came out, I believe, a week or two ago. So Captain America Brave New World was really just a setup movie to explain how he became Red Hulk. But it's like terribly written. It's like you watch the movie and you're like, this is really boring. There's some cool like CGI.
That's how I feel about all Marvel movies.
Now,
all of them.
Now, because they're getting lazy with it.
No, I've thought about that with all of them.
No, I'm saying in general, like what they call it, fatigue, like superhero fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing.
Anyways.
So the Thunderbolts movie came out. Apparently people actually do like that.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't seen that yet though, obviously.
The kids did with their dad this past weekend.
What'd they say?
They all said that it was fabulous and that you should watch it.
When did you guys have this conversation?
I don't know, in the car on the way home from school on Monday.
They just randomly were like, we went to the movie and...
Yeah, it was really good.
Oh.
Blah, blah, blah. And this happened and I'm still not following.
So it probably has, because there's a cameo from Sebastian Stan in this movie, who's Winter Soldier. You know who he is, right? She knows who this is, guys. I'm saying you just don't know them by name. You would recognize the character if I told you. Did you see any of the Captain America movies? Bucky, his best friend. That's
Anyways, do you have anything else to add?
We're only gonna live stream this week. We're not gonna record and post anything anywhere, so these aren't gonna count as episodes.
We're just dipping our toes back in the water, making sure the equipment works, make sure that our brain cells are sort of turned on.
Live stream is really, really low effort, like very low effort. Doing only this and not editing and creating full episodes and thumbnails and descriptions and all that other shit saves me like 70% of the amount of time that I would put into this per episode. So effectively, we're doing the same amount of work in these episodes. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have things that you want us to talk about, now that
or if you want to sponsor us,
not just sponsor, if you want to send us your wares, if you want to send us something for a shout out for like an episode or two, we will humor you as long as it we're not going to like stick dildos to the wall. But as long as it's like your product or a sign or a picture or something, if it's funny, if it fits the channel, we'll throw it up there for a little bit.
Okay.
Eventually we'll do something with this. We don't know yet. We can't turn the set really because we have a window here, doorway here, and we have a doorway there. So we're locked into using this side. So what we do back here, we'll more or less probably evolve over time.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We're learning as we go along.
And outside of that, hopefully this looked good. Hopefully this sounded good.
Is this officially season 2?
Season 3.
What?
Season 2 was when we came back from, whatchamacallit, from Puerto Rico.
What?
Yeah. I'm just breaking it up based on when we take hiatuses. There's no other rhyme or reason for it.
Okay, I didn't know that you had broken it up at all. You didn't give me a break at all. You were like, nope, right back to it. I was like, I thought I was getting a Christmas break.
Well, you kind of did because we had a couple episodes recorded before we came back that didn't air until after.
Yeah, you didn't give me any kind of break. I didn't get any kind of Christmas break.
We had the whole month.
No.
All right, guys. Also, let us know if there are any guests that you'd like to see come on.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you drop a like and a comment. Go check out some of our older videos. We do have some people that have reached out themselves and said, hey, I'd like to come back on. I've got something new going on. Or an update on a project that they were in the early days of last time. So we got to start scheduling and coordinating again. Hopefully we can get some more people in here. The only thing that isn't going to work with this table is, actually it'll work because the cameras can point the other directions too. We can literally just all sit around the table and have a conversation and just have the cameras spatter around. Who cares if they see that way? You're not going to be seeing anything fun. It's just more walls and stuff.
More walls.
Yeah.
All the walls.
Yep. So, and if you guys like, we can stick somebody in
your cuck chair.
I wasn't going to say the word on YouTube, but good job. Demonetized. But we could. It'd be really funny. So that, every show or series has like some sort of running joke. We used to have some early on that maybe we should go revisit, but I think it'd be funny if we just had somebody random just sitting there.
Oh my God. No. I am putting my foot down on that.
Just some random guy or girl. I'm not saying random to us. I'm saying random to the audience.
No, I'm saying
we'll never introduce them.
I'm saying no. Not happening.
Why?
No, not happening.
Why?
Nope, not happening.
It'd be really funny if that eventually became like the famous person was sitting back here and we were interviewing just a regular. And we legitimately had like, okay, do you remember the early days? And it might still be an ongoing thing of Jimmy Kimmel Live or whatever the show was called early on.
I never watched any late night show.
Okay, so I don't know if this is planned or not, but it didn't seem like it was because Matt Damon genuinely seemed pissed off about it.
Oh yeah, you told this story on here.
He would have him come on and then bring him on like right. He would introduce him and be like, "Oh, that's all the time we have. Sorry," and he'd be like, "What the fuck?" So
it had to be intentional. There's no way that it was accidental.
Yeah. But that'd be really funny to do something like that. Or like Top Gear had the Stig for a long time, who was their race car driver who they never showed the face of or let talk. He always wore a helmet on camera. They always like alluded to, eventually you'll find out. And I think it was either Ricky Carmichael or Schumacher. I can't remember Schumacher's first name. It's like an IndyCar driver. They had like an actual race car driver would drive the cars for they would do this lap thing where they would take like a generic low priced hoopty car and they would race it around a real track to try and set the best possible time in like the hoopty. And then they would also put like real performance cars out there. So they had like these boards with these magnetic things and they could put the names and keep track of all the times. And he would run those cars.
Okay.
That would be my dream job.
Really?
Yeah.
That's your dream job?
Yeah. If all I had to do was drive random cars around a racetrack all day.
All right. Where can you go to do that? I would love for you to have your dream job.
I don't know any racetracks around here. I don't think there are any racetracks around here. Which is weird for a NASCAR state.
Yeah.
Because in the South Bend area, I can think of.
Wait, hold on. How would you even fit in a race car? You have to be small to fit into a race car.
That's not true.
I cannot picture you even trying to squeeze into one.
That's not true.
The doors don't open.
Okay.
So how would you get in?
I'll get in. But I'm also talking about like a Fiat 500 and like a Toyota Prius and Lamborghini.
You wouldn't fit into any of those
I
cars.
bet you I could.
No, you wouldn't.
I would make it work. Just like, so I was watching.
You would not fit in any of those cars that you just listed.
I promise we'll sign off here in a second. I was just watching a Cleus McFarlane video. This guy, I can't remember, Hamilton, I think is what his name is, his last name or something like that. And he has this like supercar collection, this nonprofit or hypercars collection. That's better than supercars. You didn't know that.
I didn't know there was such a thing
Bugatti,
as a hypercar.
Bugatti and like, so there's supercars are the ones that you're familiar with. Hypercars are the ones that you can't pronounce the names. It's like Lamborghini is a supercar. Koenigsegg and stuff like that is hypercar. We're talking cars that have like 2,500 horsepower, can do 0 to like 350 miles an hour. And like,
okay.
Yeah.
So what about the story?
So the very first car that they took off the trailer to this track, I think the cheapest car was the Lamborghini, and that was like $800,000.
Mm-hmm.
They brought a Bugatti that was fully optioned in some weird way that was specific, that I guess Bugatti was, we love this version, this spec version of the car.
1.2 or something?
4.2.
Oh, okay. That's just a little off.
But they was just like, here you go, gave him the keys.
Wow.
Let him drive around the track.
And it was for his nonprofit?
The guy that owns
Sounds like money laundering.
The guy that owns the cars has a nonprofit.
Yeah, it sounds like money laundering.
How's it any different than a fucking museum?
Okay.
See what I'm saying? Those are usually nonprofits.
Okay. Anyways.
So he's admiring the Bugatti, and he's 6'6" and he fit inside of it. So
is he also 300 pounds though?
No, but he did this the entire time.
Right. It's the 300 pounds that if you saying you're not going to fit.
If you let me drive your Bugatti, I will absolutely do this. I don't care. Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to get inside of it though.
I think it was the Chiron. Yeah. Which I don't know if you know this. The engines in those things are insane. It's a W16. It's exactly how it sounds. It's two V8s basically bolted side by side. Okay. Then what were the other ones? The Koenigsegg. There were some other ones. He also broke one car.
How did he break it?
Or maybe, no, never mind. That was Von Gittin Jr.'s car. Never mind. They were doing something at one of their races, and there was like a chain accidentally attached to their cars to move them. And they went to do drifting on the actual racetrack. I don't know if you know how it works. They try to like stay as close to each other all the time. Mm-hmm. And this chain got wrapped up in the front of his car and ripped the front end of Von Gittin Jr.'s car off. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's unfortunate.
And then he also had a plane crash on his airfield where his house is being built while he was in Talladega racing. A real plane crash. And the plane blew up and turned into a puddle of aluminum. And the people survived.
Wow.
Yeah.
They got very lucky.
The construction crew that was working on his house happened to be there to help with the fire department and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. So they have crazy footage of it and stuff. I guess apparently, and this makes sense if you think about it, every airport and runway has cameras on them. Mm-hmm. So NTSC and everything like that can investigate things if they need to. And his happened to be down, but the construction cameras caught it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. The way they crashed too is the dumbest thing in the world.
What happened?
So, when you put your hand out the window in a car,
yeah,
like this, when you're going really fast and you can kind of go like this. Mm-hmm. So when you take off in a plane, if you try and take off too slow and too vertical and you don't have enough power, it's like putting your hand like this in the wind. So it just kind of slapped the air, the wing hit the ground and rolled into a brush ditch. And they said it was 12 seconds or 15 seconds.
Oh, so they were just taking off?
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
They were taking off.
I thought it was just some randos in the area and then they happened to go down.
No.
And gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So they were taking off and the plane stalled and the wing hit, and there was like a drainage ditch on that side, and it went like into this tree line and through a fence and stuff. And so they got out and they had gone to the other side, which happened to also be his property. They didn't know that, but there's no access over there. So they were stuck behind this tree line, behind a blaze, like brush fire. Apparently down in Florida, it's really dry right now. And just, I mean, intense fuel fire, melting the structure of the plane. And so the construction crew and the fire department stuff, they thought that the people in it had to have been dead.
Mm-hmm.
And they finally heard them screaming on the other side when they were trying to shoot water over there to fight the fire on the other side. And they happened to have their oh my gosh, it's like a giant forklift. I can't think what they're called now. You've seen them before. It has like the bucket, or sometimes they have forks. It's a big boom that can extend out.
Okay.
So the guy from the construction crew made a big deal about how when the fire department asked if they had anything to use to rescue them because they didn't have a ladder truck out there, they just had brush trucks and stuff. They said, "Yeah, we happen to, and we have this bucket, and it's OSHA approved." And they're like, they're not going to care when they're rescuing somebody if it's OSHA approved.
I mean, in this Sue happy day.
If somebody gets hurt, sure, but if nobody gets hurt and you're just
right, it's a big if in this Sue happy day.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you for the random knowledge today, Andrew. You were so insightful.
Nothing is ever random.
Everything that comes out of your mouth is the most random tangent express.
Oh, Kay's finally got on busy working. Oh, there's no timestamp, so I don't know how long you said that. Sorry, brother.
I think that just occurred.
Oh. Yeah.
Well, thanks for popping on, not Kay, but we're about to pop back off.
Yep. I guess same time. If we're going to do this more this week, same time, because that's kind of the window where it works for both of us. Tomorrow.
If you insist.
All right. Like, subscribe, hit comment. I posted that minutes ago. Yeah, have a something.
For some reason, we can only see like half of.
Maybe if I pop this window back out.
He said, I saw them number 4 minutes ago. But it's like, there we go. I posted that like 4 minutes ago, but yeah, have a good one. Thanks. You too.
Yeah. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Oh, we got to finish our 6,000 subscriber giveaway at some point too. We're right there.
Woo woo.
Yeah. All right, guys. We will see you in the next one.